All right. What's up, y'all? What's up? I want to welcome y'all to another episode of Now and Then. We got a good, exciting guest for you today. Her name is Stax Cordero. She's a writer, actress, comedian, also, I guess you could say. And a lot of people say, why are you having, not just rappers on and not just it? Y'all like to do a little bit of everybody. I think it's important for us to get all our art out to all of the people that are watching. And also, maybe we can reach some kids and whatnot. And, reach some kids and get them to start reading again. You never really know what somebody's interested in until they're exposed to it. I'm sure a lot of y'all found things in y'all life that y'all were not exposed to previously. And then once you got on, you were like, oh, okay, this is kind of cool. So, you know, I like to keep it rolling like that. Also, another thing, I got a lot of things coming up, y'all. Check it. Got the website about to be popping. Website is going to be crazy. All right, website is going to be crazy. You'll be able to buy merchandise. We're going to have a nice big launch party. When my online store pop is going to be crazy. So I just been putting a lot of work into that. Also, I want to reach out to everybody and tell them, just make sure you check on your people. It's a lot of people, that are suffering from depression. And a lot of people didn't even have depression just around this time. Like, they're just real lonely. So we definitely need to look out for each other, and definitely check in on each other. So we going to get up on it. I want to thank the people that's coming in. And we have our first guest here. She has just stepped into the room. So we're going to get this young lady on right now. And we're going to get this young lady on right now. Bear me one moment. Here we go. Get Stax Cordero up in here, and we're going to talk to her about a new book. Talk to her about everything. Hey, what's going on?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm good. Trying to get this camera situation again. I'm good. You think?
Yes, I can see. That's perfect. That's perfect.
Okay.
I see plastic on the sofa and everything. No.
Ain't no plastic. It is new, but it's no plastic. You
so,
funny?
so Stacks,
Okay.
I had to get you back because you bombed on me earlier. I'm gonna tell y'all about that story about what she did to me earlier. Just popped all the helium out of my head. I thought I was Mr. Big. Like, yo, check this out. You gonna like this? She was like, "Sigh, I seen that." I was like,
I did not. I did not.
so look, I want to thank you
That's
very
not
much.
true. That is not true.
So look, I want to thank you very much for being on, Miss Cordero. Stacks Cordero, she's a writer, she's an actress. She also has a new book out right now. It's called I Am Relentless. So please tell us, introduce yourself, tell us about you, tell us about this book.
Okay, well, my name is Stax Cadero. I'm from Harlem World and Harlem Stand Up on Your Couch.
All right.
um, yeah, I grew up entertaining. So, dance, hip hop, acting, writing is something that I've always done. And there's just been a lot of experiences, both good and bad, that I've said, you know what, let me just write this. Let me just write this story. Let me tell my trials and tribulations and how you get through and past certain situations. And I also have a one woman show that's attached to this.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I'm going to film it. Mr. JV just checked in, and he and I have done a lot of work together. And he is a creative flow is actually going to be filming um, what will now be well, not so much a feature. I don't know how long it's going to be. I don't intend for it to be a feature, but anything over 45 minutes, close to an hour, is kind of considered a feature. So it is still a one woman show, but we can't be in the theater anytime soon. So,
Okay. So look, as I told you earlier, we know a lot of the same people.
yeah.
A lot of the same people. LOT. When I say a lot, I'm talking about a lot. And I'm gonna
Oh,
take
so
it
I
back.
should have looked through your friends list first, huh?
Yeah, I think you should have did that because
I should
we
have
got a
done
lot
that.
of friends in common. So first of
Okay.
all,
Well, I don't have any bad reputations with anybody,
oh
so it's
no no
all
no no
good.
no 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 look no. Let me say that's one thing about here, and I want to let you know seriously. Like
hmm
this show now and then is not one of those shock value places or just trying to get the the surprise or this was going on. I don't do that here. Now, what I
No,
do
I
is I
didn't
like
think
to
so.
give people the platform, allow them to speak, and I like everybody to feel comfortable. And
Hmm.
just speak their truth. You know what I mean? Regardless of what it is. So I have people, I had women on here that were abused. I had men that were going through things. So I like for everybody to talk about it and tell their truth.
Okay.
And I just want it to be a fair place. So I just want you to feel comfortable. Ain't nothing I'm gonna jump out the woodworks with you about. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
But
not expecting that. I watched your interview style, and I don't think that that's gonna happen. Hey, V.
okay, good. V, my cousin V, Vanessa up in here. So you went to art and design, is that correct?
LaGuardia.
LaGuardia, I'm sorry, LaGuardia. That's right, LaGuardia. Because my boy Marlon Wayans, my boy Omar Epps, and one of the most prolific
Mitchell.
today, my man. Yes. Let me tell you something about
Yeah.
my man Mitch. Like you and I know, but we're gonna put everybody up on real quick. If y'all don't know, y'all gonna know my man Mitch. He got big things popping. He's
Super
really been
duper
putting in
writer.
the grind for like 20, 30 years writing.
Hmm.
So he got it good coming. He got some good things coming out. So, look, tell me about yourself. Tell me about this book. What made you write this book? Is this book about you? Is it real? Is it
It's
just silly? What
definitely
is it
about
about?
me. It's a memoir.
Okay.
It's a memoir. It reads like a novel. I've always been one to read, in efforts to escape. And so I like to read, period. Like whatever it is, I'm going to read. So one of the great things about acting is, well, with me as an actress is whatever it is that like whatever character it is, whatever the script is, that's the only thing that I read.
Okay.
Right. And so if it doesn't hold my attention, I can't do it.
Got you.
I can't do it. So in writing this book, if it wasn't going to hold people's attention, I wasn't going to put it out. So I had two of my hardest critics. I'm like, look, I'm going to need you to read this. And they were
Right.
like, no, I love it. And that's just been the general consensus of the book. Like I said, it's a lot of trials and tribulations, but also just my passion to really want to make it and still want to push forward and say, you know what, it didn't happen then, but it's happening now.
Got you. So, one thing I did hear about you, good. It's
Hmm.
all good. One of my friends who's an MC, his name is Mr. Live. He's my partner.
Okay.
And he was like, yo, homegirl grind is no joke. Everybody I talked to said the same thing. Like, your grind is no joke. He was like, in the underground back then,
Hey,
you
Tiff.
didn't really have like a record out, but you had a machine behind you that was pushing you like you had a major out. So look, I want to talk everybody through it. Let's take it step by step. I really want people to get to know you. I want to
Okay.
scratch through a little bit of the surface. So after you graduated from LaGuardia, because I see you did movies and everything, I want you to talk about what made you stay in the field of entertainment and how did it start for you?
It's the one thing that I've always wanted to do from when I was young. Growing up, watching Michael Jackson, listening to KRS-One, being inspired by Roxanne Shante, hearing Kane, hearing Rakim,
All right.
seeing LL, like just, um, just everybody great that did it, watching Fame. You know what I'm saying? And just like the passion that goes into it. From dancing to hip hop, it's just something about when you step on stage, you got that mic in your hand, you just come alive. And
Got
that's something that I could never let go of. So once I got out of high school, my mom was 1 year. You got 1 year, you get a record deal. You don't get a record deal, you going to school somewhere. And I'm like, all right, because I'm like, I got this. I
right,
got this.
right.
A whole year passed. I'm sorry.
No, this is what I want to know. This is what I want people to know, your grind, because I'm sure a lot of people see you, doing your thing, and they
Yeah,
don't
and
really appreciate
it's
that
not easy.
grind. That's what I really want people to understand. Like, I know people that grind, and
Hmm.
they said that you grind. That's what I mean. I want people to understand the work that you put into it. This isn't just some facade.
No, it's
You
definitely
got a
not.
couple of movies under your belt. Think like all of this is hard, especially
Hmm.
for. I'm gonna be honest. Like, let's just call a spade a spade. It's harder for Black women, independent in the industry, to get through. If she isn't doing a certain kind of thing, we'll just leave it like that. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah. And I definitely wasn't doing any of those things.
Exactly,
So
exactly. All I heard about is your grind. Seriously, like I'm being honest with you. And I really want to commend you on that because
thank you.
you know, you're a beautiful woman that could have went any way, but you chose to,
Thank
you
you.
know, to grind out. So tell me about the first time you did. In fact, before we even get to that, the first time you did a movie, what was some of the terrible jobs you had to do before you got to where you were?
Red Apple
Red Apple.
supermarket. Yeah.
What were you doing at Red Apple?
I was a cashier at Red Apple.
You were the
I was a
cashier.
cashier at Red Apple, and they just didn't. Yeah, they just didn't believe anything that I was telling them. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna open up for so and so. I'm gonna do this. They like, yeah, whatever. Then if you're doing that, you don't need to be working here. And I'm like, but I really am. So like, I opened up for Third Base. I opened up for
Okay.
Special Ed. I opened. It was like a whole, you know, those big shows. It was like one of those shows where like everybody in hip hop was gonna be there. And
Right.
so I'm like, yo, I'm doing this show, and I have the flag. Got my little picture on it and everything. They're like, well, if you're doing that, then what you doing here? It's that type of
Right.
thing, you know. But I
But you
was working
believed
there,
in yourself. But you believed in yourself.
definitely, definitely,
Definitely.
and I still believe in myself.
Definitely. What's one of the hardest obstacles you face in the industry that you would say? And because you're so, you know, you're so well rounded in music, because you was doing this at a time when it was really a male dominated kind of
Yeah,
arena. That's what I mean. I really want to give you credit for what you did in music before we even get into your writing and your acting. That's a whole nother level. People got to understand, for a female to say that she was an MC or a rapper or whatever, she had to be coming with it. Like being cute wasn't enough back then. You know what I mean?
it don't
So I
matter.
really want people to understand, you
It
know,
it
your
doesn't matter.
grind.
You
Exactly.
gotta have bars. You gotta be able to really hold your own. And I've done battles and all of that. You know, the first battle, and that's in the book. I lost the battle, and Finesse
Okay.
was sitting right there, and I was like, damn, you know. But he was like, but he, you know, he ain't embarrassed me. He like, look, next time, this is what you do. That wasn't the worst thing that I faced in music. I would say one of the worst thing that I faced in music was actually putting all my money into my own project. Like after it didn't work out with anybody else,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, I was always presented with, what do you think would you know, what do you think your brand is, or who do you think your audience is? And I'm like, you know, so I had to come up with something. I'm like, what am I gonna come up with? You know, you got Eve the
Right.
Pitbull, Little Kim Queen Bee, you got Foxy Ill Nana, you got
Right.
Lauren L Boogie. So I'm like, what's gonna be my thing? What's gonna be my thing? So my
Right.
thing was Stax Cadero, the Harlem Barbie doll. And so I
Yeah.
worked on that, and the whole album started off, it's the Harlem Barbie doll. You know, every song had that on there. So I'm
Right.
sitting there, I'm chilling. I have a video that's being edited by someone. I don't know why it took forever, but you know,
Okay.
he was editing, and I'm watching BET, and I see this girl in the cipher, and she had the Barbie chain on, and I was like, oh my God. And then my people were calling me. They like, yo, you're going to have to drop the whole Barbie thing. And I'm like, oh, wow. Because everything went to that. And so it was
So you
hard.
got all your money. So
It's
you got
really
all your
humbling.
money so you got all your money tied up in studio time, demos, producers,
Pictures,
beats,
video.
pictures, all of that for Barbie, Barbie, Barbie. You got Barbie stamped on everything, and you run into this, and now you're flat broke. So what do you do now? What's your next move?
I had to reinvent myself. I had
So
to
you just
reinvent
scrapped that
myself.
whole
So
project.
I did. I
Okay.
did because it just reminded me of where I wanted to go with it. You know, because I'm like, damn, it'd be dope if somebody from Harlem had a Barbie. It'd be dope if blah, you know what I mean? So I just
Right.
like had this whole thing going on, and I just watched it flourish in front of my eyes, and it was really hurtful. And it wasn't anything, you know, that she did. So, you know, there's
Right.
no
It was
personal
unknown. Yeah.
feelings, you know, towards
Right.
her,
Right.
but somebody came with it, or somebody was watching, or whatever it
Facts.
is, you know, because the
Right.
industry is really small. And I like everyone is saying, I was grinding, I was really going hard. So
Right.
you never know when somebody's like, yo, you nice, you know who they're attached to. You know what I'm saying? So that was like one of the hardest things that I had to overcome. But the greatest part of that is that it worked. So it let me know that an idea that I had worked. And to me, that's key. That's dope. She don't even have to know that I'm breathing. As long as I know that my idea worked, I'm like, all right, I got something.
That's what I
And
love
then that's
about
not the only thing.
the positive that you carried out of that. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Because most people that were crushed and you just sitting in your house like, I just spent all my money. They look at it like a brick wall. But
Yeah.
you found the positive in that. And I think
I had
that's
to.
important. I think that's important. So now we're gonna move forward to movies. How did you get involved with doing movies?
So one of my managers I met while I was going to Toro College, Jamal Joseph. He was one of the writers and directors on New York Undercover. That was like one of my favorite shows, and he was always
Malik Yoba and
writing
all them.
something.
Yes. Yes, that was
Right,
good.
always writing something. So he had some stuff going on with the Comedy Channel. He had a movie that he was putting on Stars, and he was like, "Yo, Stacks, why don't you come and play this part?" So I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And so I did it, forgot about it,
All right.
right? And I'm like, "Okay." And then everybody was like, "Yo, I saw you on TV." I'm like, "You did?" And I'm like, "Oh, the movie, yeah," because that wasn't my focus. My focus was always hip hop. I always had a
Gotcha.
pen and a pad in my hand. Like that was just one of the things that I always really, really wanted, you know. And it just wasn't my focus, even though I played a female rapper, you know, in the movie.
Gotcha.
Um,
What was the name of that movie?
um, a love story. That's
A
the name
Love
of it.
Story.
It's called A Love Story. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And it was on Stars for a minute. I think it can be you could Google it and it'll come up. And it may say Ray Sean. That's my government.
Yep.
It may say Ray Sean on there. I went through a whole bunch of names. You know how that goes. You go through all these names until you find
It changed
yourself.
until you find yourself. Gotcha.
Yeah, you go through
No, I
these
love
names
that.
until you find yourself.
I love
So
that.
hmm?
No, I love that. Now, before we get back into, before we go on further about movies, I want to stay on this for a minute. I want to
Okay.
talk about your book, I Am Relentless. Where can they get this book at?
Um, they can get it from Amazon. Get your copy from Amazon. This
Okay.
is it right here. So it's my baby. When this came, whew,
So
crazy.
is that the first book that you wrote that you've written?
No,
No?
no. I
What was
was
the
a
first book you wrote?
ghostwriter. I was I was a ghostwriter for someone's book. But what I can say
Uh-huh.
is that he earns honorary doctorates from St. Thomas University based on that book.
There you
So that with all of the positive accolades and everybody loving him and stuff, and yo, I read it, I couldn't put it down. That right there, I was like, oh, I could do it. So
go. No, that's perfect.
I kept working on the book, putting it down, working on the book, putting it down. And what it is all of the personal experiences and really sharing yourself and getting deep. It was scary for me because I'm like, damn, do I really want to share this much of myself? Do I
Got
really want to put this out? I think I was more afraid of being judged um, than anything. I think I was really afraid of being judged, afraid of what people were going to say about certain things that I went through,
got you. No, I
you know,
love
but
that.
it's life. So
No,
it's
so
all about how you bounce back.
no, definitely. So look, I don't want to give away too much about the book.
Okay.
And I understand it's about your life, but I definitely
hmm
want to touch on something in the book. What's something in the book that people can read where you'll be like, this right here? Just give us a little bit of it. Like, what's something in the book that really stands out to you when you were writing it that it was like, it was one of those moments for you? Just the topic.
Mm, really, wow. Because it's my baby, I'm gonna say the whole thing.
All right.
But but when I was finishing the book,
Mm-hmm.
um, and it's been like a up and down, you know, relationship between me and hip hop. You know, sometimes we love each other, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we love each other, so we been separated for a
Right.
little while, right? You know,
Right.
but there's there's certain situations that would always bring hip hop back to me, and it was that moment where I got the mic back, and I was like, oh my god, I missed you. You know what I'm saying? I
Exactly.
missed it so much. It was emotional for me. I'm like, damn, I'm emotional about rapping. This is crazy. Nobody's ever gonna understand this. Nobody's gonna
Right.
be able to really feel me on that. But unless unless you're really an entertainer, unless this is something that you really, really love from your heart, you're not going to understand that. But whatever it is that you love to do, if you and that thing were separated from each other and you found your way back, it's like the greatest hug in the world. You know, that's what I can kind of compare it to.
And you want to know what? I'm really glad you brought that part up, because that's something that really interests me, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Kane is my cousin. I'm used to being in that hip hop world. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like always in it, around it. I made that a part of my life. Cutting celebrities here, and I was also a tour manager for the Lyricist Lounge. And I would host the shows also. When
Really? Lyricist Lounge?
Yeah. And Danny, those are my men. Yeah, definitely.
So I was probably around you at some point.
That's what I'm saying. Listen, when I tell you we know a lot, I just don't have all the time to run through the resume, but we know a lot of the same people. Yeah. So I would host the shows, and when I stopped doing it, because I moved out to Cali and I had my kids, I had to become this different person.
Mm-hmm.
I totally lost that part of myself that I was all of my life, and I ended up falling into a deep depression because I didn't know who the fuck I was when I was looking in the mirror. That's crazy shit.
Yeah.
And because you're artistic, it's hard enough to keep your mind about where you are, going from character to character and being creative, and then dealing with real life.
Yeah.
But then when you go to something like that where it's actually life changing, and then of course you as a woman, things change. Of course, I'm sure you probably fell in love, you had children. Life changes. So
there were those pauses, and then you pick back up. So
yes.
there were quite a bit of pauses, and that came in the form of contracts, that came in the form of relationships. It came in the form of me of just being in the middle of a contract. Okay, what do I do now? What am I supposed to do now? And big shout out to everybody that I worked with, because each contract, each situation, each management or production agreement that I had always brought me to the next level.
Gotcha.
Kind of like pieces of the puzzle,
Right.
And at the time I couldn't see it, but I can see it now.
No, see, you never know when you're going through it until you got to go through it to get there. So let me ask you, when you started to have a family, were you still in the middle of an album, or were you writing, acting at this time, or were you just like, I'm going to be a stay-at-home mother, I'm going to work? Like, where was your mind at that time?
I was never a stay-at-home mother. Never. I always had like 2 jobs and a gig. It's always been 2 jobs and a gig, or 1 job and a gig, but always writing, always moving, never sitting home. Only time that I was doing that is my first daughter. I was young when I had her. I was 22. I was 22 having her, and I was in college. So even in being in college, I still had a job, and I was still trying to do stuff. I think I was, that's when I started, like, that might've been my first script that I wrote when I was in college. It was with Jamal, and Jamal had us write a short film, and we filmed it, and then, write a short play, and we put it up. Gotcha. And so I had a chance to see my work, and I'm like, oh, I like this. Oh, okay. So I found it to be cool to be both on stage and, behind the stage, be on film and behind the camera. So,
right. So since high school, that's what I want to point out. Regardless of what adversity you face, you never stopped that grind. You always stayed busy doing something. If you couldn't, do hip hop, you were writing. If you couldn't act, you were doing this. That's very important. That's very important, because staying creative and staying in that loop somehow is going to get you to where you want to be. You cannot stop that grind. I think that's the most important thing that I noticed about you, and I noticed about your story, and that's making me excited to read the book. Because to see all of the stuff, I'm just imagining in my mind, because I don't really know you personally. I only know what I see from the outside. So to see that from the outside and know that life goes on behind that curtain, that's the point that excites me. That's why I'm telling everybody need to go out and get this book.
Go get that book.
Get that book. Amazon. It's on Amazon. I Am Relentless. We got to get
I Am Relentless. Go get that book. Hey, Deshaun. A couple people I know that checked in and stuff. Deshaun actually has the book right now.
There you go.
He's reading it right now.
In fact, Deshaun, we're gonna bring you in a minute if we can. We're gonna talk to you and see what you liked about the book so far, for real. But I want to talk about your movie right now, Of the Essence. Tell us about that.
Oh, so we do know a couple of. Look at.
Yo, look, stop playing with me, man. Stop playing.
Okay. Well, I signed the NDA, so I really can't say but so much about it. But what I will say is that it's a really dope movie that I was co-writer on, and
Okay.
I'm waiting very patiently to see, to see how it's gonna go. And it was filmed over the summer. Shout
Okay.
out to Fetty. What's up, Fetty?
Listen, I just like to
Shout
get the
out to
drops on
Joe.
all of the good stuff that's coming out so people can say you heard it here first. Don't hate me for doing my job.
I'm not hating you at all. I think that that's really dope that you did. Listen, keep your eyes open for Of the Essence. It is coming.
There you go.
It
That's
is
coming.
coming.
And
It's
tell me about
coming.
Timeless Guilt.
Timeless Guilt.
Yes.
I played I played a role in Timeless Guilt. It was like a one of those things that you kind of in and out. There was another role,
Uh-huh.
but
Okay.
but I played a young girl that was boosting. And so I never did that before. And it was just something that I had to improv on right quick. He's like, yo, Stacks, I need you to do blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, cool. But I overlooked production for that, like
Okay.
production management and stuff like that, just being in charge of making sure everything is together. And I like that because I wanted to make sure that everything, was in pocket. Where are the actors? What are we eating? What's the location? What are the times? Looking at the call sheet and, stuff like that, just making sure that everything, was together. That was cool.
That's dope. And then the last one, Murder at the Hands. Tell me a little bit about that.
Murder at the Hands.
Yeah.
That is
See, I do my homework.
currently.
I do
I
my
see
homework.
you doing your. I'm not that. You supposed to do your homework. Murder at the Hands is a short film that I was asked to direct by Jermaine Smith. That's Everyday the Brand. Shout out to you. C Mass, he's actually in the room. What's up, C Mass? He's in it. One
Okay.
of the young ladies that I co-host on the radio show, Cotton Candy, she's in it. And this other young lady, Crystal Williams, she's in it as well. And they all brought their A game. They
Got
all they all brought their A game, and I was the director on that.
it. Okay, cool.
So
Now,
I wore a whole different hat
I
in
didn't
that.
even bring up the fact. I totally forgot you were a radio host. Tell us where we can hear you on the radio. Tell us how we can find you streaming. Tell us about that.
Okay, so the Air It Out show airs on dtfradio.com. It's also on Vimeo now, and I think Apple TV, on Saturdays from 11 to 12. And from 1 to 2, we're on Scratch Vision Radio.
Got you. Okay. So you want to know what? Let's see if we could bring Deshaun in here. See if we get him in here.
Hey,
Think
Keish,
about the book.
you should get Key Jones.
Key
Keish,
Jones.
if you want to come on camera, you should say, because she read the book, and
Okay.
she's been there from like page 1. She's been there.
You said Key Jones.
Yeah, if she'll accept it. But I bring Deshaun in first because I think it's good to have a male perspective and a female perspective.
Let's see. Okay, he's not coming up right now. Let's see if we can find him. I'll find him. We gonna find him in here.
You gonna find him?
DSHAUN _. Okay. See if we can find him in here. No, can't find him. All right, so it's hating.
You can't find him? It's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So it won't let me bring. But all right, but he said it is a good read though. It's a good
Yeah, he
read.
did say that.
I like
You
that.
can ask C-Mass if he's
Uh-huh.
still there, or you can ask Keith.
Okay, let's see.
We won't keep them too long.
Yeah. Let's see if we can see Mass up in here. Let's see. Oh, here he is. Yep, I got C Mass right here. Oh, we can't get C-Mass in here. Cause you know what? We gonna see if we get our homegirl up in here. Being that we both know her, see if she'll stop playing. I invited Vanessa in. See what Vanessa do.
You gonna get the shy girl? Come
Yeah,
on,
get the
shy girl.
exactly. She probably like, no, I ain't got my hair done. You know, stop
Oh my
playing.
God.
She is hilarious, yo. She always got a reason why not.
So while we're waiting,
Uh-huh.
Traffic Lane is currently being edited,
Okay.
and I'm one of the gangster grannies, and we have comedian Capone in there. I play his
Oh yeah,
mom.
he's hilarious. Yeah, comedian Capone.
Yeah.
All right, so I see Vanessa going front and C-Mass. We can't bring you in because they like, yo, man, you gotta update your version, man. They won't let you come in. But yo, we gonna get
Oh.
y'all up in. See, look, oh yeah, see, Vanessa's like, nah, man, my hair ain't done, my wig ain't done.
Oh
So
my
see, look,
God.
but that's all right. No, but look, but that's all right. So look, we gonna close out right now. So look, tell us about the book one more time. Where we could get the book, the name of the book, and why we should get this book.
Okay. The name of the book is entitled I Am Relentless. You can find it on Amazon. Go to Amazon.com, Amazon Prime. It'll be there for you. You can go cop that right now. And one of the reasons that you should get this is because it is inspirational. It is self-help. And if you have been sitting on your gift, guarantee by midway in the book, you're going to have your pen and your pad out like, yo, what should I be doing next? Because if this girl went through all of this and she's still going, I ain't got no business sitting on my ass.
Can't come on camera.
I can't,
I
Vanessa.
knew she was gonna say that. That's why I did that to her. So look,
It's okay. It's
I
okay.
want
She linked us, so it's cool.
exactly no. So Stacks, I want to thank you very much for being on. Listen, when when I got my website launch coming, I
Hmm.
definitely want. Listen, you got a
Oh,
place.
Mr. JV, you could have called him in.
Let's see if we get Mr. JV in here. See what we can do here. Let's see. Oh, there you go, right there. See, there you go, right there. We're gonna get Mr. JV in. Mr. JV can't get in here. Can't get in.
You can't? Oh my God.
See, they gotta have a new version of, like the version you get the double screen. They're not letting anybody up in here. It's like some private club type
It's
thing.
VIP.
Yeah, you
Okay.
know what I'm saying? But look, I want to thank you very much for being on. Everybody go out
Thank
and get a
you.
book.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And look, I want to be on your show one day. You know what I'm saying? So we could talk about a lot of things. There's a lot of things I got popping. Like I said, the website popping. Also, I want to. It's really big to me to talk about just depression with Black men. I think that's
Yeah,
something that is not really brought to the forefront. I think that's something that really needs to be talked about because us men, we really not used to running off emotion. You can't hide your emotion forever because it'll really lead you to go down a dark place. You know what I mean? So anybody,
mm,
I just want to tell everybody right now, especially right now, if you need to talk to somebody, look, reach out, and there are numbers available for people to reach out. There are a lot of people due to this pandemic
definitely.
that just can't really, they just can't really handle being alone. You know what I mean? And it's good for us to all reach out and just touch somebody and just touch them with a phone call and say what up, you know? So I want to thank you very much. And listen, you always got
Thank
promotion
you.
space on my site. All right. I got you. Cause you with my peeps, so we all good, all right?
Yeah, no.
All right. And look, we're gonna be looking out for that movie too. Go get that book. I Am Relentless. And I'll see you later, all right?
All right. Thank you.
All right, bye.